When watching a recent superbike race, a question popped into my head. When did bikes become superbikes? What bike would be considered the first superbike, and how did these bikes give birth to the World Superbike Championship? To answer that, we must look at the history and evolution of sports bikes and how they transformed into the superbikes we recognise today. One of the first motorcycles called a superbike was the Honda CB750, introduced in 1969. It featured a 750cc engine, considered very large and powerful at the time, and advanced features like front brake discs. But to me, it doesn't have the DNA of a current crop of superbikes. The sit-up and beg riding style and big comfy seat don't scream superbike to me. Next up, the Kawasaki Z1, which was a mean old thing with a 900cc engine, but again, I'm seeing a quick bike for the time, not a superbike. It wasn't until the 1980s that the motorcycle industry evolved rapidly, so more contenders started to appear. The Kawasaki GPX 900R was released in 1984, and it was widely regarded as the first sports bike. Made famous by Tom Cruise in Top Gun in 1986, it was the first liquid-cooled 16-valve motorcycle ever produced, so the DNA of modern motorbikes was in it. However, the rest of the bike used fairly standard technology elsewhere, and it still had a steel tubular frame. It was quick, but I still think it looks like a sports tourer rather than a superbike. The Ducati 750 F1 was released in early 1985, but this was essentially a race bike converted to road use, and it still used a steel tubular frame and swing arm. The engine was from the Ducati Pattar, released years before, originally developed in the 1970s. It was not exactly a user-friendly motorcycle, and with a price tag of more than $6,500, it was not within the reach of your average biker, so I'm not calling that the first superbike either. Then we come to late 1985, and Suzuki unveiled the GSXR 750 at the Cologne Motorcycle Show. Enthusiasts wanted bikes that were not only fast and powerful, but also closely resembled the 500GP machines seen on racetracks, and the Gixxer did that to perfection. When the GP team unveiled the RGV 500 a couple of months later, you could see that there was more than a passing resemblance to the GSXR. To me, the GSXR 750 was the first proper superbike as we would recognise today. It featured key innovations such as an aluminium frame and an oil-cooled inline-4 engine. These advancements made the GSXR 750 not only incredibly fast in its day, but also agile and easy to handle. The GSXR produced 100 horsepower and could hit 150 miles an hour. These figures seem incredibly tame today, considering that the current GSXR 1000 is pumping out 200 horsepower, but it was still a remarkable figure for its time. Its success set a new benchmark for performance and design in the sports bike category, which would soon become known as the superbike. The success of the GSXR 750 prompted other manufacturers to get their act together and develop high-performance sports bikes as well. Between 1985 and 1988, several notable models were introduced. The Yamaha FZR 750 featured the new Genesis engine with a unique 5-valve per cylinder configuration and an aluminium delta box frame. Then there was the Honda VFR 750R, also known as the RC30, which was released in 1987 and was known for its V4 engine and gear-driven camshafts and a single-sided swing arm aimed squarely at racing success. Then there was the Ducati 851, which was released in 1987 and featured a booming 4-valve per cylinder fuel-injected V-twin. So, how did these new superbikes give birth to the World Superbike Championship? Before we carry on, I'd like to introduce you to the sponsor of this video, Aura. If you're like me, you know how important it is to keep your personal information safe online. Aura offers comprehensive identity and financial protection, giving you peace of mind. With their 3-bureau credit monitoring, Aura constantly monitors your credit reports from Equifax, Experian and TransUnion. This means you get near real-time alerts for any suspicious activity, so that you can take action fast. But Aura doesn't stop there. They provide robust cybersecurity tools, including a powerful antivirus and a VPN. These tools protect you from malware, phishing attacks and other online threats. Plus, their password manager helps you create and store strong passwords securely and alerts you if any passwords are compromised. For those with families, their family plan includes parental controls and cyberbullying alerts so your kids can browse the internet safely. You can filter harmful content to get notifications if there are any threats while they're gaming or online. Another standout feature is Aura's data broker removal service. Data brokers collect and sell your personal information, but Aura helps remove your data from these databases, keeping your information private. And the best part? Aura offers 24/7 customer support, so you're never alone if you need help. Plus, with up to $1 million in identity theft insurance, you can recover costs related to identity theft like legal fees and lost wages. It's easy to set up, and it gives me the confidence that my personal information is protected. So why wait? Click on the link in the description and head to aura.com/superbikejohn to start your 14-day free trial with Aura today. Now, these bikes did race on the track before World Superbike in the form of the Formula TT Championship, which featured production-based motorcycles that were extensively modified for racing. This series attracted significant manufacturer involvement with major brands like Honda, Yamaha and Suzuki developing competitive machines. However, the Formula TT series allowed for extensive modifications without stringent homologation rules, meaning the bikes, in particular the top Formula 1 class, often bore little resemblance to their production counterparts. Take for example Joey Dunlop's Honda 750 at the 1986 TT. It looked nothing like the VFR 750 it was loosely based on. Despite its prestige and factory support, the lack of homologation made it less commercially attractive than the newly proposed World Superbike Championship would offer. Despite common misconceptions, World Superbike did not replace Formula TT. Both series ran parallel for a few years. Still, it soon became clear that a championship based on road bikes the consumer could buy was more attractive to manufacturers and fans than barely recognisable specials. There was something called the 500cc Grand Prix Championship for those sort of bikes. The concept of win on Sunday, sell on Monday made World Superbike a far more appealing platform, so the FIM conceived the idea of the championship in 1987 and the manufacturers all quickly signed up. So the World Superbike Championship started in 1988, attracting a mix of privateer teams and factory-backed entries, kicking off at Donington Park. British fans flocked to the circuit as the new era dawned of motorbike racing, and for the first time fans could see the bikes they ride on the roads racing on the track. The first round of 9 was held on the 3rd of April, and for the only time that season results were combined from both races to determine one overall victor. Racing on the short circuit layout, British rider Roger Burnett secured pole position on a Honda with a lap time of 1 minute 14.8. This is almost 10 seconds slower than the most recent laps on a modern superbike, which was a 1 minute 05 by Jason O'Halloran in 2022 on the McCann's Yamaha, showing how much technology has improved. Anyway, 25 riders lined up on the grid, and Italian Davide Tardozzi took the maiden victory on board his Bimota SPA, just 1 second ahead of compatriot Marco Lucinelli for Ducati. Road racing legend Joey Dunlop gave the British fans something to cheer about as he completed the podium in the 30-lap race. Race 2 saw Lucinelli stand on the top step as Race 1 winner Tardozzi crashed out on the final lap, providing fans with true superbike drama. American Fred Merkel, the eventual world champion, took the second position on the Honda as Dunlop made it a double podium. The 1988 season saw fierce competition, with Fred Merkel clinching the first championship title riding a Honda RC30. In the following years, the competition only intensified, and the World Superbike Championship began to establish itself as one of the premier motorcycle racing series in the world. These years saw some of the most iconic battles in superbike history and the emergence of riders who would become legends. Merkel returned in 1989 still on the RC30, and Fred showcased his consistency and style, fending off fierce competition from riders like Raymond Roche and Terry Reimer. The RC30, with its V4 engine and innovative features like the single-sided swing arm, was a formidable machine, allowing Merkel to secure back-to-back championships, solidifying his place in World Superbike history. 1990 marked a significant turning point as Raymond Roche, riding the Ducati 851, took the championship. Ducati had made significant advancements with the 851, which featured a liquid-cooled, fuel-injected 4-valve per-cylinder engine. Roche's victory was not just about individual skill, it was a testament to Ducati's engineering prowess. The 851's powerful engine and excellent handling made it a tough competitor, marking the beginning of Ducati's dominance in World Superbike. American rider Doug Pollin took the World Superbike scene by storm in 91 and 92, dominating the championship with back-to-back titles. Pollin's weapons of choice was the Ducati 888, an evolution of the 851. The 888 was a technical marvel for the time, offering improved power output and handling over its predecessor. Pollin's precise riding style combined with the 888's performance made them an unstoppable force. Numerous pole positions characterised Pollin's dominance in these 2 years, race wins and the ability to consistently outpace the competition, establishing Ducati as the team to beat, which Kawasaki managed to do in 1993. The 1993 season saw a shift in power as Scott Russell, riding the Kawasaki ZXR 750, ended Ducati's 3-year winning streak. The ZXR was a well-rounded machine with advancements in engine performance and chassis design. It allowed Russell to compete fiercely against the dominant Ducatis. Russell's championship win in 93 was a significant achievement, showcasing Kawasaki's ability to develop a bike that could challenge and overcome Ducati's dominance. So what other bikes were released in this period? Well, Yamaha introduced the YZF 750 in 93, featuring advancements like the improved fuel injection system and a refined Genesis engine. Although it wasn't immediately successful in clinching the championship, it demonstrated Yamaha's commitment to the evolving superbike lineup. Although introduced slightly later in 1994, the Honda RC45 was in development during this period. It was designed to succeed the legendary RC30, and it featured fuel-injected V4 engine and a more aerodynamic design. The RC45 would become a crucial player in the upcoming World Superbike seasons. Intense competition, rapid technological developments and emergence of legendary riders marked the early years of the World Superbike Championship. Battles between these riders and the continuous evolution of superbike technology kept fans on the edge of their seats race after race. But still, remember that it was the Suzuki GSXR 750 which started it all. As we look ahead to the 1994 season, stay tuned for the introduction of another groundbreaking motorcycle that would signal the next leap in speed and technology. What could this new era bring? Join me next time to find out.